So let's talk about the 6 hats of business. And as the CEO, imagine that you own a, I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Yes? 6 hats of business success, thank you. So as a CEO, your job is not to do everything in your company. Your job is to know what each role is supposed to do. And then over a period of time, your job is to do what you love to do and what you're really good at and get the rest done. And for some of you, I know you're doing everything yourselves. And I get that. And sometimes when you're starting out, you have to. But there's also a different way of thinking, and that's to be resourceful. And if you can't hire people, you can partner with people or barter with people or defer payment to people who can get the stuff that you need to get done that's hard for you. So to start this off, there is always somebody in the company that has to be the visionary. And the visionary is responsible for creating the vision that we talked about earlier, for really setting the future of the company and where is the business going, what products you need to create. A lot of entrepreneurs are visionaries and they're really good at that part of it. But as soon as we get a little bit deeper down into the different hats, that's when things start to fall apart for most small business owners. And so just out of curiosity, and let me just put up my, my chat again. How many of you consider yourself as a natural visionary? You see the potential, the future of your company. Right. Your job is to understand what are the different hats and then which one you're supposed to be doing and then which one you're not supposed to be doing. So for example, I am a visionary. And then there's pieces in my company I am just not very good at. So I don't do it. And so visionary, all right, how many of you are natural marketers, all right, where you understand, how to build your personal or product brand. You know how to generate leads, convert those leads. You know how to communicate online or offline. You know what people need in your niche. You know how to do that stuff naturally. You're a marketer. All right, so good. So there's visionary. Who's a marketer here? Like, who is a marketer? Not, okay, great. So I'm going to share something with you. For some of you, when I did the exercise to create the vision, it was easy, and for others, it was hard. When we get into some of the marketing, some of you are going to go, oh my God, that's Chinese for me. Here's something you need to remember. As the CEO, your job is to know what you're good at, what you're not. Your job's to figure out how to get the stuff that you're not good at done. Many years ago, I learned this from my first mentor, Alan Brown. He said, hire people who play at things you have to work at. Let me repeat, hire people who play at things you have to work at. And if you don't like, hire people who play at things you have to work at. Barter with people who play at things you have to work at. Partner with people who play at things you have to work at. Defer payment to people who play at things you have to work out. Your job is to get it done, not to do it yourself. And if you're not good at it, by the very nature of how your brain works, if something is hard that requires energy and you're not good at it, and there's something else that's easier for you, you will default. If that gets activated because it's hard for you, you don't get it, you don't understand, you will default to the stuff that you are naturally good at, and that's what you're going to want to do. Does that make sense? So I want you to stop thinking that I have to do it all. No, I have to be resourceful to get it done. And as the CEO of your company, okay, you have to figure out, how am I going to get that done? What resources do I need? Whose help do I need? Does that make sense, everyone? I want you to take the pressure off of you think I've got to do it all. No, you've got to get stuff done. but you have to learn how to use leverage in order to do that. And all of a sudden you go, oh, okay, I need to know what needs to happen, but I don't need to do it all. All right? All right, so there's the marketer. Who is the natural salesperson? It's easy for you to talk to people. It's easy for you to ask people questions. It's easy for you to qualify people. It's easier for you to ask people for the money. It's easy for you to share with you what they need to do next. How many of you are natural salespeople? By the way, you can build a multi-million-dollar business if you wanted to with any one of these skills done well. So you don't have to be good at all 6 or 3 or 5. You can be great at one as long as you get the other things done. Now, in business, how many of you would agree that without prospects who buy, you are limited in how much growth you're going to have and how long your business will survive? Which means you have to understand that the lifeblood, oxygen of a company is marketing and sales. You can, I was going to use a superlative, you can mess up a lot of stuff, but if you don't do selling and marketing right, you're just going to stunt your growth and maybe not even do it well. Now, many of you know my definition for a salesperson is doing something for somebody, not doing something to somebody. If you're not comfortable selling because you don't want to be salesy, stop being salesy. Help people. Help people. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that so people feel like you are their best friend, that you love them and care about them like a mother or father love their baby. All right? But selling has to happen, and you're either going to sell online or offline, okay? So then there's the engineer. And this is more of a mindset, right, of somebody who thinks, what's step 1? What's step 2? What's step 3? If this happens and that happens, then what should happen next? Somebody has to create the systems and the processes and the analysis of what is going on. If I give you 10 leads and you don't convert any, well, there's something wrong with either the quality of the leads or the sales. But if there's something broken because of the process, then you have to have somebody who can analyze and fix the process. All right? So the engineer is that left brain structural person. Okay? And so again, you can have any one of these, okay, and be outstanding as an entrepreneur. But if you try to play a different position on your team, and that's not one of your core competencies, you will suffer because you're going to do things or try to do things that you're not good at or don't want to do it, or it's not natural, and you'll default back to what you naturally do. And then there's the manager. You know, there are people who are natural managers. They manage processes and people well to move things forward. And that's not me. I can guarantee you that is not me. How many of you are natural, you know, engineers, like engineer? You like the step-by-step analysis, do this, then that, then this, then that, and fix this and fix that. Not you. Okay. So I'm going to share something with you. So you know who you know the type of people I'm talking about, right? There are people who are, and I'll show you in another image in just a moment. So Terry Hood, you're an engineer in life, right? Ray, this may fit into your camp, right? So some people think this way sequentially. It's like if I was all over the map, the engineer types would go, God, this is too disjointed. This doesn't make any sense to me. All right, the social people, the fact that we're just here talking, having fun, you're like having a great time. The conceptual people are thinking about, wow, this is going to be great in the future. The analytical people can just put it into sequential order on their own, right? So the engineers create the systems and processes naturally and easily for the business to operate predictably. So is it important for each one of you to think about, how do I get my business to operate predictably? That's a business, right? That is the whole power. And I'm going to show you, again, I'm not just telling you what this is, I'm going to show you all the processes and systems. And then how many of you are natural managers? It's easy for you to manage people or processes that are in place. Glenn, great. Yeah. Nope, great. And again, it's not a big deal. You just need to know what you're good at, what you're not. How many of you are like, come on, let's go. Come on, where are the leads? Where are the sales? Come on, you need to get this done. What are we wasting time for? Come on, andale, andale, andale. Right, let's go. You're driving stuff forward. Some managers can drive, others are more passive. Some engineers, are good drivers. Some are more passive. Some salespeople are good drivers. Usually you're going to find good salespeople drive, right? Good marketers drive, right? They're making things happen, right? I'm a driving analytical. Awesome. So Glenn, I'm hearing that you're a driving engineer. Possibly, right? So it doesn't matter what it is that your core competency is. What does matter is which one or two are natural for you and how are you going to get the other stuff done. I'm going to show you something in just a minute that's going to have a lot of you going, oh my God. I'll show you some in just a moment. So how many of you, can you type in right now, how many of you, are, let me just back up. I'm going to show how many of you are the visionaries, or if you already know I'm a visionary manager or a engineer, which one are you? Look at this. Look at the different salesman, marketer, visionary engineer, driver, visionary engineer, driver. Great. So your job, right, as a CEO is, which two hats are your dominant hats, right? Which two hats are your dominant hats? And then here's my question for you. How are you going to get the other stuff done? If you're a visionary driver, how are you going to get marketing and sales done? How are you going to get management of the marketing and the sales of the people done? Because if you're trying to do all of that, and I'm going to show you in just a moment, it's really, really, really challenging. Okay, so let me show you, okay, a little bit about yourself and your brain as well already. So a lot of the visionaries are going to be social people, and they can create a vision, and they love to connect with people. I want you to read what's on here right now, and this is in your manual. Is which is you naturally? Are you naturally social where you like to talk to people about concepts, ideas, your products or services? Are you a visionary conceptual, which you just determined? The structural are the engineers, and the analytical are the people that want an enormous amount of information, and they'll make, they'll put it into the right order. Which is your dominant? Is it social, analytical, conceptual, or structural first? And then what's your second? So social, conceptual, visionary. Well, no, it's social, analytical, conceptual, or structural. This is a slightly different way, okay, of looking at yourself. So a lot of conceptual, analytical, awesome. All right, so Adam, so that means you're probably structural first. There isn't a right or wrong answer, by the way, just which is the dominant way that you show up, right? The social people love to talk about their products or services, but they're sometimes not really good at putting systems and processes in place. That's where the structural person comes into place. The conceptual people can see the vision in the future, but unless they have structural abilities, okay, or analytical abilities to know what is needed, they may have a bit of a challenge.